Hello.
Hi, Seth.
Hi, Mary.
What was that funny looking paper in the envelope that Lucas put in Mia's locker?
I don't know. It had pictures of weird looking people on it wearing crowns and stuff, and they were.
Yeah, and like sparkles on
I
it.
don't
It was
know.
cool.
No idea.
I want the US to have glitter money.
Yeah, are you? Yes. One of the things you learn when you travel to other places, I'm sure Sarah BT could tell us this, is that everybody else's money is way prettier than ours.
A lot cooler than ours. Although we've got that new purple five that
Uh,
everybody's all,
We got the purple five, but they're still, all our bills are green and have ugly old men on them.
Hey, except Hamilton.
All right, fine.
But even though he put money in Mia's locker, I still have this very strong sort of ew, gross danger kind of feeling about Lucas.
About Lucas. You know, that's weird because I think up until today, there was no character that I found more just despicable on Degrassi than Lucas. Like, I hated even watching him on the show. But now I feel like at the end of this, I feel like he's maybe actually genuinely trying to be a good person.
I hope he is. Like, I hope that that's something he learned through babysitting Isabel twice. That, like, oh, wow, this is my daughter. She is my spawn, and I have a very close connection to her, just like naturally. And that maybe he was learning that. But, like, what's up with, like, guilting Mia about, like, oh, yeah, I'll babysit my own child twice, but it's going to cost you. Like,
She is my spawn. That's what he's supposed to realize. It's like, looks at her. She is my spawn.
didn't your mom used to say that to you when
She'd
you
pat
were
me on the head
little?
and tuck me in at night and say, always remember you are my spawn.
Yeah.
And even if he is trying to be it, he's still an ass. I mean, he's just like, that's it. He's an ass. You know, you can tell by the way he behaves to other people. But maybe he's trying.
Yeah. You have to give people room to grow at that age, and like if you expect the worst from them, after a while they're just going to keep giving you the worst. So it's maybe this will turn out well. Let's be optimistic in the old Seth way.
Yeah, I'll be optimistic about it. You know who else is trying? Jay, I believe, is honestly trying.
Oh God,
Jay
yeah.
Jay is one of those guys who, he's in the past. He's like seemed like he's maybe turning kind of good, and then it turns out no, he's really not. He's just kind of evil.
Right.
But it seems like he actually is trying, and Manny was really, really down on him for lying, and rightly so. But I think, to his credit, I think that he's trying not to do it. But when you're in the habit of lying so casually and so frequently, it becomes very difficult to not do it. It's like biting your nails. It's really hard to
Right.
stop.
Yeah, it's just how he rolls, and it's like part of his nature, and he doesn't know how to open himself up to love yet, but he's working on it.
Right,
He so loves her. It's so cute.
right. And eventually, you do just hit the tipping point where it's like it then becomes difficult to lie because you become used to telling the truth, and then you actually have to stop and think about lying, and then everybody knows you're lying, and you do it at that point. But for Jay, that's going to take, I would say, 17 years.
Really? You think that long? I think he's in a period of rapid growth,
Oh,
and
I see.
we can expect big things from Jay in the short term. I hope we can expect big things from Jay in the short term. Let's call Mike Lobel
Let's.
because it's on our schedule, and I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, it's always fun to talk to Mike. Now, is this the? I was thinking that this might put him over the top in terms of number of times someone has been on the podcast. Is he now, after today, will he outpace everybody?
I wonder. So we've had him. This will be the third,
I think this is
and I
three.
can't remember if we did three with Stacey Farber.
Did we do three with Stacy? I don't know. Someone listening will
Yeah.
tell us.
All we had to do is like look through the archive.
All
but
you have
we
to do
can't-
is look on our website. But no,
That's just too much work.
no. We have interns for that sort of thing.
Without further ado,
Mike LaBelle.
woo!
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Michael Bell.
Yes.
It's Mary and Seth from theend.com.
Hi,
My
Mike.
goodness. How are you guys?
How are you?
Great. As like it's us as always. We must be the only phone call you ever get because we're calling
Totally,
you
you
like
guys
every
just
5 seconds.
Definitely not. Yeah, I'm definitely not at all popular.
We were just debating whether or not you have now, with this will put you over the top in terms of number of times being on the podcast. I think you might have beaten out everybody else now.
Really? That's awesome.
I think so.
I'm really highly competitive, so that's great.
Oh, awesome.
You're gonna call up Aubrey Graham and be like, "In your face, Aubrey Graham!"
Yes, totally.
And he'll be like, "Dude, why do I care?"
Then yeah, he won't even. He doesn't know what date is. It's all over the place.
So what are you up to today?
I'm actually up to the most you caught me in the most embarrassing moment because I'm like, so now I'm like a MySpace stalker or something because I came across I was like Zooey Deschanel's got a band, whoa, because I totally have a big crush on Zooey Deschanel.
Oh, I'm so with you on that.
Yeah, you are, right?
Yeah.
Because she's hot. And but now she's got this band, so I was like, okay, I'm going to check this out. And I went onto the band thing, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I need to add this person as a friend, right? And you know where you can type in a personal message if you're going to add somebody, you're requesting an ad or something, and you can type in a little message there. So I thought I was flirting with the idea of being ridiculous and silly and say oh my God, you're my celebrity crush. And so I did because I'm
nice.
like that.
Very
And
nice.
And so I sent it, and then I realized at the very top of the page in the little caption it says, "Sorry people, this is just a fan site." And I was like, no. Who's getting my little letter of affection now? Not Zooey.
Well, I'm going to give you a little tip here because I learned this recently. And since you're, a TV actor, you actually have the possibility of someday meeting her. Her name is actually pronounced Zoe, even though it looks like Zooey.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. So
that would be helpful.
Yeah.
But you must know what that's like to get those messages from fans, because you get your MySpace friend requests that are all like, "Oh my God, Mike Lobel!"
I do, and the weird thing is I get it a lot. I get it all the time, and because I manage the MySpace, and maybe I should put out there right now, it is really me. The real Mike Lobel is me.
Right.
Hands down. That's it. End of discussion.
It's kind of obvious just because the blog on it is actually well written, and it's
it's not I like souping up my car, and they get all the fake ones have the attributes that Jay has.
Right.
So it's I like to steal, and I like to sometimes, but I got a good heart, And it's what? That's do a little research, people. And so I get that quite a bit, but the thing is, when you're in that position of being a fan, it's the same thing. There's still that feeling I need to tell them how much I love them. And
totally.
yeah, so I will still be a fan. It's that weird thing. I will be an actor, but I will also be a fan.
Right. Is there a limited? Because I've had this discussion before, with friends, where it's who's the star that you would actually lose your poo if you saw them in public and run up and be like, "Oh my God, I love you." Because mine is Paul Rubens. I would not be able to hold myself back. I would make an ass out of myself.
Wow.
Is there anything like that for you?
I don't know.
Zoe Deschanel.
Well, okay, I've seen, obviously they're the greats that we all look up to, and I saw Al Pacino at an In-N-Out Burger in LA once, and he just came in and he sat down and he ordered, and he had a burger with his family right there. He was there, sitting there for half an hour eating a burger and really enjoying the burger. And, my friends and I are sitting there, and our jaws are on the floor. We're watching this whole thing unravel, and nobody bothered him because it's we were in Hollywood, and I guess there's that sort of respect that you give that person. You're okay, well, I'm not going to go over. He's sitting there with his family eating but we were damn, that's Al Pacino right there.
I have this image in my head of a person doing an Al Pacino impression while eating an In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah, he was actually just a street performer. He had an uncanny comparison to Al Pacino, and he was taking a lunch break with his family.
I'm very, very tempted to do my impression of Al Pacino eating an In-N-Out Burger right now, but I'm not going to do it.
I want you to, though, because I can't, and I don't have an Al Pacino.
Please feel free. I'd love to hear that.
Though I will tell you a quick Al Pacino anecdote from a friend of mine when she was in high school and went to New York and was there with a couple of her high school friends, and they walked by Al Pacino on the street, and one of their friends said, "Hey, that's Al Pacino." And my friend said, "That can't be Al Pacino. He's too short." And Al Pacino turned around and said, "Thanks a lot, kid."
Wow. In your face, kid. That's crazy.
And then he walked into Burger King and ate 3 Whoppers right there.
What's with Al Pacino and loving the burger, loving the great American burger. What is
I was
it?
just thinking to myself, how weird is it that literally that person in Seth's story and that dude at In-N-Out Burger are like the same person, and we're able to like track him through space and time because he's famous. Like how many people have their Mike Lobel stories, and like they're all spread out all over the nation, but they all have their story of the time they met Mike Lobel at the mall, or like the time they saw him in In-N-Out Burger looking at Al Pacino.
I could probably make a story right now about that.
Okay.
I was walking in New York once, and there was this like younger couple like walking in front of me and my girlfriend were walking down the street, and they were maybe 5 paces in front of us, and the girl at one point, and I'm talking, and so the girl at one point just turns around and stops us, and she goes, "Okay, I need to know because I've just been listening to your voice. Are you Mike Lobel?" And I'm like, "Yes." And she's like, "Okay, thank you," and then turns around and just keeps going. Like keeps going right in front of us. And I was just like,
God.
"What?" So I told you her Mike Lobel story from my perspective.
There you go.
Very nice.
I wonder if she'll hear this and be like, "Oh my God, that was totally me."
Yeah. Hi, girl.
Okay, I want to get these Degrassi questions out of the way because Mary and I have had a problem the last 2 or 3 podcasts we've done where we've forgotten to actually ask.
Oh.
We talked to Miriam and to Cassie, and I don't remember who it was before that, but we kept forgetting to actually ask anything about the show, and then people were getting
That's
mad.
important.
So I want to get this out of the way before we forget.
All right.
What were the questions we were going to ask about the show?
I've got one of Seth's was like he was saying how Jay has like seemed to soften up in the past, but he wasn't really softening up, and like it was all a ruse, and he wants to know. I'm asking for Seth. He's right here.
Yeah.
He wants to know if this like new softening Jay with Manny is permanent, or is he gonna go evil again? Like, what's going on with Jay?
Okay. When we were doing this, and when my character sort of got to that point in the show, I knew that it was real. It's real. It's definitely real. There's no ulterior motive for the first time, and I think it's kind of it's refreshing. You know, like when you see him now, it's like, oh, isn't that sweet? And I guess like at least I hope that it wasn't portrayed as there being some kind of underlining motive, but there's not. He really is in love with Manny.
I didn't sense an underlying motive, but I am a sucker for bad boys, so I didn't trust myself.
You're like, I've been there before.
I believe their lines every time.
What have I learned from this? Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
But now he's all vulnerable because now he told Manny about his mommy and daddy.
Right.
So he can't go back from that.
Exactly. He's exposed something that's really vulnerable about his past, and he wouldn't tell anybody. Like that's really the first time you get to see him actually be truthful about something, and it's corroborated, you know.
Yeah.
So
and he's
it's
not
real, baby. It's real love.
And that's all that matters.
He loves Manny. He's definitely down with Manny.
I love that relationship. I'm like so in favor of it.
It was fun. Cassie Steele is really fun to work with, and she kicks me all the time though.
Does she?
Yeah, for fun. It hurts too. When she does it.
Like right in the
She's
shins?
like, it was like that. It reminded me of being in like grade school, like running around the schoolyard, like, you know, kicking and being kicked by the girls that you like and that like you, and
except she doesn't like you. She's just kicking you because she likes to kick.
Yeah, totally.
Wait, what? Did she like get you in the shins like while you're recording a scene, or?
Basically, yes.
Nice.
Basically, camera cut. Okay, it's totally time to kick Mike now.
You gotta wear shin guards, man.
Yeah, I needed to. Yeah, I definitely needed to. So we were, yeah, but we had a good time on set, and she's a really fun girl.
I want to talk more about Mike Lobel because I get bored with Degrassi. No, I want to know now that we know about Jay's family. Like, I want to know about your family. I saw pictures of your brother and your sister on your MySpace.
But yeah, well, there's 2 siblings. So I've got a younger sister by about a year, and I've got a younger brother by about 3 or 4 years.
So you're the
Who's
oldest.
very cute, by the way. But you don't have to tell him I said that.
I'm going to make him listen to this now.
I just, just objectively speaking, he's an attractive human being. That's all.
Okay.
What's that?
Nice. Go, brother. Go, my brother.
Were you guys tight growing up, or did you bicker a lot, or what?
Like, we've all been really, really good. But the thing with the 3, kids is that there's always somebody who's cut out. Like, if you ever bicker or have an argument, someone's always going to take sides because, there's strength in numbers. So that's your whole thing, right? You, like, hide behind, it's 2 against 1 always.
Right.
And you're trying to convince the neutral sibling to, like, come on to your side. 'Cause this is the side that's going to get the win, get the okay glance from my parents. Because, yeah, right side, okay. So you don't want to be on the side that, that has to go to the room. Wrong side to be on.
So wait, is that how you became such a competitive person, maybe?
You know what? Maybe. But I'm the oldest child, right? So it's usually the middle, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, right.
The actor, the artist, or what have you.
Yeah, because they have to, like, vie for attention because...
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
So that kind of worked out weird.
I wonder if there's
should
a
be
thing...
like an astrophysicist or something.
And I find, because I only had a sister and I didn't have any brothers, and, like, the only man in our family was my dad, obviously, and, like, I don't understand boys, and I'm convinced that that's why. Like, all my friends who had brothers, like, get dudes a lot better than I do. They get the brain.
Well, let me tell you something. It's really simple. Leave you with that. Really simple.
What good movies have you seen lately?
I just saw There Will Be Blood, which I thought was, like, amazing. And it's, like, what really can you say at this point? Like,
I have a milkshake.
Exactly. And that's a really good impression, actually.
That was
Thank
good.
you.
Very nice.
Daniel Day-Lewis. You can't even give him any more Oscars, really.
I know, right?
Seriously.
Just got to be like, okay, dude,
You're cut off.
unfair. You not anymore. You can't get any more Oscars. We need to give it to other people.
It's like, who comes in second to Daniel Day-Lewis this year gets the Oscar.
Exactly.
We never ask anybody, so I'm going to ask you right now, who are your acting heroes? I don't think I've ever asked anyone that. I know you like Peter O'Toole. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Clearly
Peter
you like
O'Toole.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis is right up there. I've got to say Jeffrey Rush. The funny story with Jeffrey Rush is that I saw Shine when I was younger, and I was watching it with my father, and because I come from a big movie family, like we sit down, we do it right. We sit down and we watch movies and we critique and all that kind of stuff. And I said, Dad, how did they get like a mentally challenged person to act so well? And my dad was like, that's Jeffrey Rush.
Right.
He's a completely normal intelligence. He's just that good. And I was sort of at that point where it's just like my mind was like, what? That's crazy. So he's definitely one of my heroes.
There actually have been actors who have had that problem with their career, that they've been too good in their early roles, and then sort of people just sort of associate them like John Travolta, broke through as the sort of Brooklyn Oaf kind of guy in Saturday Night Fever, and it took years before people realized, no, he's not just some dumb guy. He's actually was acting as the dumb guy.
Yeah, no, it's hard because people almost want you to fulfill that for the rest of your life in a way. I think it's partially the audience in that case, and probably could happen with a character like Jay, because he's so, he's like a character, and it's like there's almost like an expectation for years after that you would have to break, before going into other things and before doing different types of roles. So I could see how that would happen.
You're just going to have a scene with Jay playing the ukulele. That'll flow.
Someone was actually talking about that like last week. They were like, oh, you should, Jay should start a band. And yeah, that's it. And he should play ukulele. It's like, okay. I could pitch that to writers. I don't think that's going to definitely break his mold a little bit.
You could serenade Manny with the ukulele outside her window.
Totally.
Hey.
I see it.
That little rendition of Over the Rainbow with Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Season 8, I see it happening.
Thank you very much for being awesome as always, Michael Bell.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you so much for a lovely conversation.
You're the best. We'll talk to you soon, I'm sure.
Okay.
See ya.
All right, take care, guys.
Bye.
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 Mike Lobel, I don't want to disparage our other, podcast friends, but he's like the best podcast guy.
He is the cream of a creamy crop.
The cream. Ew. I think that he should be like our go-to guy. Not only should he be on, regularly when we talk to him for all the various reasons we have to talk to him, but I feel like, on the weeks where, like, when Jake Epstein shafted us, that we can call Michael Lobel, and that he'd be ready to go.
He can be like our Patton Oswalt on Conan O'Brien.
He's just there. Bam.
Which, worked out pretty well for Patton Oswalt. Then he, like, was Ratatouille, and now he's, like, filthy stinking rich. So
I have no idea who that is.
You don't know who Ratatouille is? Come on.
Oh, no, I know who Ratatouille is, but that's I understand. He was the voice of Ratatouille.
Yeah. He's.
Right. I barely know who Conan O'Brien is.
And also, Michael Bell's a lot cuter than Patton Oswalt. Wait, did I just tell Michael Bell that his little brother was cute?
Yeah, you did. That was really kind of weird, but I didn't want to point it out. But since you
why do I open my mouth?
Yeah,
Seth?
I'm sorry. I know you meant it in a very
like, those science things where they take the face and, like, kind of fuzz it up and, like, ask you if it's cute. Like, he would pass that. He would be cute.
Yeah, you said it like the way an aunt talks about their nephew.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, like a not that much older aunt
Right.
would feel about her handsome young nephew.
And he's listening to this right now, Both Mike and his
My
brother are
God!
listening to this together, probably with their mom in the room.
Stop! Shut up!
Maybe we should just end it here before this gets any
now.
worse.
I'm going away now.
Okay, goodbye, Mary. Talk to you next
Have a
week.
good weekend.
See ya.
Bye.